Do you understand?
Yes.
I wish I had a ham sandwich to calm my nerves.
Get a hold of yourself, Dag!
How come I suddenly know which boy bands rock out loud?
Hey, it's Brian.
And I'm Rob.
And with our powers combined, we are the Nostalgic Dads Podcast. So, we got a good one today. Well, at least in my opinion, it's a good one. I haven't really discussed it with you yet offline. We are discussing Shadow Raiders from, I believe, 1999, 98 to 99. Two seasons, I believe.
I think so.
It also goes by War Planets. I know War Planets is up there in the top, but I've always seen it go by Shadow Raiders. And then just a little disclaimer. I know I did a little video saying that we were discussing season 1, episode 1, 3, and 6. That's because Google lied to me. I'm not talking to Google anymore. Google says it's only 6 episodes in the first season, but then IMDb says it's 13 episodes. So we're actually discussing episode 1, 6, 12, and 13 due to it being another two-parter at the ending. Google's also a lying bastard because the one episode is episode 3 is Born in Fire, which we're originally going to discuss, but Google also says that's in season 2, episode 6. So Google doesn't know what it's talking about.
No.
So we're not using Google anymore. So I will definitely take the blame for that. If anyone did watch those episodes, I should have reposted it, but I've been busy. I've been quarantined, but I can honestly say that for once.
Oh, yeah, man. So Brian is our podcast artist and general awesome artist all around. He has been churning out work like crazy, I feel like. Quarantine's been good to you.
Yeah, it's been kind.
Yep.
I think I looked at it and I did 8 drawings in the last 3 days.
Woo! Productivity.
Yeah, we'll discuss that all later, though.
Yeah.
We can also discuss the other new thing we did later as well. Because
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I still don't know what I'm doing on it. So that's fine.
Me neither, so that's fine.
But yeah, let's get right into it. We're discussing episode 1. What was it called?
Behold the Beast.
Behold the Beast. So this episode, little breakdown. We get an introduction to the main characters, most of them, not all of them. It jumps right into it. There's a battle on Robot Planet. This lady named Tekla needs to leave that planet. It's kind of like the Superman kind of effect. You know, the dad shooting her off in a little spaceship. She crashes down onto an ice planet where the ice guys and the rock guys are fighting because the rock guys need the water from the ice planet to survive. Yep. It's a back and forth battle. Then the beasts, that's what they're called, these black alien forms, they follow the robot Tekla to the ice planet. And they start shooting down on the ice planet, start attacking the ice and the rocks. And then they finally have to join forces together to fight them off. That's the general idea for this first episode.
Yeah. You know, I actually have it. I have it on episode 1 playing on my phone right now to keep me focused, get my motivation going.
Good job.
I've also been drinking a little bit.
Yeah, it's all on
so
YouTube if anybody
great.
wants to. It's all on YouTube if anybody wants to ever watch it.
So I'm gonna say this: you introduced me to this show. I've never ever heard of it, never watched it, and quick, tiny review on my part. This show is awesome, like really awesome, really good. You should watch it. I think if you love old school cartoons, this one is really quality. I'm just gonna say that right now. And I don't know this. I mean, the whole overarching thing of the show is like getting past your differences and working together. And it all starts with this episode. You know, you get to see like there's a universe of different races, and they all don't like each other. But they technically, even in just this first episode with, you know, the rock people needing to get ice from the ice planet, you know, because they need water, they still need each other, even though they hate each other. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they tried to do a treaty at some point and it all failed. The main planets are ice, rock, fire, and bone.
I love how literal it is.
The Beast Planet. Yeah, the Beast Planet was actually, they discuss it, I think, in this episode. I think it's Cyrus talking to his daughter. I forget her name off the top of my head. The Beast Planet was told to kids to scare them as kind of like a myth of, this big boogie monster planet that's not actually real, but then it comes to find out that it is real.
It is real. I think his name is Cryos.
Yeah, Cryos, and then, I got her name wrote down somewhere.
Tekla.
Tekla's a robot.
Yeah. And then, okay, so the main guy, I thought his name was Rockhound because Cryos kept calling him Rockhound, but then eventually you learn his name is Graveheart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rockhound's just like I think it's a general soldier grunt type name.
Okay.
Show really gives off Star Wars vibes.
Oh,
and
big
I feel
time.
like there's a lot of Easter eggs for other shows, like the whole starting where Tekla gets shot out of her planet by her father. That's definitely, I think, a big tribute to Superman.
Yep.
What did you think of the intro?
I love the intro. I noted in my notes that the music of the intro kind of starts out. It sounds like the Halo theme to me, because it got like the vocals like oh, and then it these like kind of low drums, and I think it's pretty epic. I like the intro. It gives you a good idea of like this is the action you're going to get into, and it shows you essentially what the show is about, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, kind of ramps it up for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any points you want to discuss to bring up first?
Yes. So I couldn't help but notice, everyone's very emotive. This the people doing this show did a really good job. Like, I'd say the most expressive of them all is Graveheart. Because you always see it in his face when he's like, I don't know. I could just read every emotion off his face when he's talking, or even if he's not saying anything and he's just like thinking of something. It's very expressive. I was very impressed.
There's a lot of detail in general for 90s CGI.
Yeah, very impressive. I don't know what if these are the guys before before we were talking about saying it kind of reminded me of like Reboot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're actually related.
Beast Wars.
Yeah, Beast Wars. There you go. Big time. Definitely getting that feel for as far as like character models. To me, this one looks a lot cleaner. And
it's definitely more crisp and polished.
Yes.
Just everything texture-wise is just tenfolds over what Reboot did. And I know this came later than all of them, but at the same time, it feels like a strong point of what CGI was supposed to be for early cartoons.
Yeah, it's like what you should have been aiming for or striving for.
Yeah.
There's a lot of death in this show, and this first episode is no exception. Like, you got like a whole bunch of people on the ice planet together. They got the two different races, and then they're all dead. All that's left is like 3 people.
Pretty much all the soldiers die. The ice, I don't know if it's just the way the planet works or if it was the Ice King bringing it on, but that mist kind of freezes all of the rock soldiers' vehicles, and I think some of the soldiers, when they before Tekla and the Beast. I wish there was a different name for them rather than just the Beast planet.
Yeah, that one, because everything is just referred to as the Beast.
Yeah, because they're not even animals; they're like black hole matter.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if you were thinking the same thing, but to me, when you first see the rock people, the miners, their armor they're wearing to me looks like kind of like from Fallout, the Brotherhood of Steel.
I wrote that down.
Haha, nice.
So, when did the first Fallout game come out? Because I never played them on PC.
They're pretty old. They're like early
late 90s. Early 90s, so maybe it is hand in hand.
Yeah, if I had to guess.
Yeah. And I never played them until, Fallout 4, because I never really cared for them. But that's just
funny. Me. It's funny because I own them all, but I haven't beaten a single one.
I can understand that 100%.
Just stockpiling games because back in the day, I'm like, you know what, this is a classic game, and a lot of people liked it. Gonna own it, but no, but am I gonna actually play it? I don't know.
I was like that with StarCraft. I got them, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Same here. I have StarCraft 1 and 2, and I don't know.
I know I did say that I wish the Beast people had a better name. Design-wise, I think they're one of the cooler villains that we see in CGI cartoons next to someone like Metabyte or Megabyte. I think they're so basic, but at the same time, they have so much detail inside of them because they look like walking black holes, almost.
I was like thinking of them because when you see like later on like Lamprey and I don't know what the other guy's name is.
Yeah, same with the guy in the last episode, the tall silent guy. I just wrote that down in my notes for episode 12 and 13 because he does not talk at all.
They look like
He's
these
just a portal
ominous.
to get away.
Yeah, they look like these ominous cosmic ghosts, kind of like Grim
Yeah.
Reaper-ish of space.
Very cool though. It's definitely something I might attempt to draw at some point. I'm not sure yet.
That'd be sweet.
At
So
one point, I got a quote for you.
Okay.
At one point, is it Cyrus? Is he
Cryos.
the Cryos? I don't know why I keep calling Cyrus. He says, men of rock are known to be brittle at the spine because he thinks Graveheart is running away
Oh yeah, yeah.
in the fight near then, but he's just going to grab a giant nuke blaster cannon thing. I don't know what the technical term was. Beam cannon of some sort.
I think he called it a sonic cannon. I listed it as
Sonic cannon?
I was like, it's like a BFG because of how strong it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this cartoon is actually really well written because there's some other quotes I have written down for other episodes. So I find it's all around, it's a really solid cartoon.
Yeah, I was thinking that acting wise, these voice actors are pretty good.
Yeah.
And especially like you were saying, that King Cryos, yeah, I think he sounds very smart, and he kind of has an accent. Does he have like some kind of almost English accent?
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely, it seems like the ice is definitely the hierarchy of the fancier worlds.
Yeah.
Bone is sleazy. You got Rock, who's hardworking and stubborn, and then you got Fire, who's kind of, screw it. I'm just gonna jump into it.
Yeah, exactly. This whole episode takes place on the ice planet, and everyone gets killed except for the three, and like you said, they team up to fight the beast drones, as they're called, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got like ships, and then they also send down sort of like these robots. They're kind of like mechs.
Yeah, they're kind of like mechs. The only thing, they got like a half moon shape that they shoot out the spaceships to land on the ground, and then they grow from there. And that's the only thing. If you hit the half moon thing, that's the only thing that can kill them. Other than that, they're invisible.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's just that little half moon shape in their chest. That's their only weak point.
Okay. And then at the end of the episode, I mean they're pretty much killing it with the sonic cannons, but then I think Graveheart almost gets killed, but Tekla dives in front of the blast, essentially saving him. And I thought she was like, oh, she's dead, but no, she's actually in like stasis or something.
Yeah, she goes in offline mode pretty much. Because Braveheart does
sleep
get
mode.
hit. Yeah, sleep mode. He does get hit because he's got that little hole in his back.
Yes.
But then we find out that the ice people have, I guess, mist that comes out of their. We see it come out of their mouth later on, but they use it in the cryogen station where they have that ice particle that heals the wounds.
Yeah.
Because Graveheart's back gets all patched up, the hole's gone, and that's what they did to Tekla, but she's got brain damage of some sort, so that's why she's still in sleep mode.
Yeah, and that's I think that's all I got for episode 1.
Yeah, that's all I got too. Pretty straightforward. All the episodes are pretty straightforward. I find them enjoyable, but I find they go like the time. They're 25 minutes each, I think, or so. I find the time went by really fast with each episode.
Yeah, definitely. So I feel like this. Obviously, we didn't watch every episode of this season, but if I had to guess, that it doesn't seem like there would be any filler in this season.
No,
Yeah.
it seems like it's a straight on trying to save ourselves plot. Trying not to just die from this evil beast planet.
Yep, preferable.
Yeah,
Well, that brings us to episode 6.
I'll let you get the rundown on that one. It's called Mind War.
Okay, let's see if I can get this. So jumping up to episode 6, Tekla, for some reason, is with the Bone Emperor.
Yep.
I'll let people laugh
Femur?
at that joke. Femur, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to call him the Bone Emperor because it sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
And she is apparently getting her body, like she doesn't have control of her body. She's like kind of lost in her mind because Lamprey has taken over her body. And this whole episode is essentially them having this kind of mental battle, like fighting over her brain. She's trying to get her body back. At the same time, the Raiders are sort of having this sort of battle, trying to get to Femur's ship to get back Tekla. And we're introduced to, of course, the Bone Emperor, who is a total sleaze, like a-hole.
He's a pervert.
Yeah, he's a big pervert. There's some stuff in here that's like, oh, it's pretty. I forget one quote specifically, but yeah, there's some like perviness in there for sure. And then also Femur's
probably one about him getting hit a bunch.
Yes, he's talking about how he likes it rough or something.
And then he's like, no, not that rough.
Yeah, not that rough. And yeah, I mean, essentially the whole episode is the internal struggle between Lamprey and Tekla. Eventually the Raiders get there, and it seems like all hope is lost. But and she actually like wants them to kill her to stop Lamprey. She's like willing to make the sacrifice, but Graveheart is having a real hard time. Like, obviously that would be the easier decision, but he doesn't want to. And eventually, classic kids cartoon where they're like, you know what, through the power of friendship, we could overcome anything. And they do it. She hears that, and she, using the power of, the others because of their togetherness. I don't know how, I can't explain it in a non-cheesy way, but she's able to overcome Lamprey and pretty much purge her from her body. And yeah, that's the episode. Victory.
Well, as we already mentioned, Femur, he's a pervert. It's funny, he's the ruler of the Bone Planet, but yet he has no spine because he's a chicken shit when it comes to battle.
Yep.
One of the lines that I did write down, because I forget what led up to it, but he says to her, no objections there, toots, because he's always calling her toots or babe or something, flirty along those lines.
Yep.
And then he also makes a line later on saying that that's the second time he's been fooled by Lamprey, or something along those lines. Tricked, but yeah, he's been tricked before, so I'm not sure if that's in a previous episode or not, if we missed it. But yeah, being tricked the second time, he's like, makes a comment about, oh, that's the girl I want to be with, because now he wants Lamprey. He just pretty much wants any chick at all.
Yeah. Is it female? I want it.
And then, of course, he's catching on that Tekla is under the mind control of Lamprey, so he's got his troops shooting at Graveheart when they're trying to show up. He cuts off communication to them. And then at one point, Tekla, when she's fighting Lamprey in her mind, she actually starts beating the crap out of Timur. I think that's probably when the line comes up, how he likes it rough, but not that rough.
Yeah.
Because at one point she's like behind him, choking him out, and because she's fighting for her body, but at the same time, Lamprey's in control of her body, so it's an ever going back and forth battle between the two of them.
Yep.
Then at one point, Lamprey takes over Tekla's body and holds Femur at gunpoint. Do you remember that scene?
Yes.
That's when Graveheart and Jade and everyone shows up. Oh, we also meet Jade in this episode too. I think that's the first episode that we personally see her. She's another rock person. She's very stubborn, and she's right to the point. She's like, Yeah, let's beat Lamprey. Let's just shoot Tekla in the head and get it done and over with.
Yeah, I have in my notes, Jade continues to be a dick.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I
And
think
what's
she's
her
like that
accent?
throughout the whole. I have no idea.
If I had to
She's
if I had to
she's
guess, it was
foreign
like
of some
Jamaican.
sort. Like I didn't know if it was that or like a light Russian or it's
I don't know.
something weird.
Yeah,
Because she's
something.
got like she's a female, but she's got that like dark, kind of almost like a manly accent. Like,
Hmm.
look at me the wrong way, I'm just gonna punch you in the face, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing that helps Tekla beat Lamprey is the speech that Braveheart gives. He gives a little small speech by her and saying that, together as a team we'll overcome everything. We don't leave anyone behind. Your typical hurrah, let's not give up speech. And then Tekla powers up and shoots Lamprey out of her mind with like a big giant energy bolt. Because you
Mind
see energy
laser.
coming out of her. Yeah, energy coming out of her mouth and her eyes, and yeah, that's all I got for that one.
Um, So we said mental battle. Interesting is I find even though Femur is like total terrible
Dick.
person, yeah, Dick. So he has his assistant or second in command or something, and this guy like hates Femur. He even though he's serving him, his whole character is just rolling his eyes at every single thing that Femur says, as well as trying to poison him all the time. Apparently, um,
Yeah, because he likes it when Tekla starts beating up Themer.
yeah,
He's
yeah, he
like, oh,
like
I'm
laughs.
starting to like her now.
Yeah, exactly. What I find very interesting is about the bone race. So even their ships are like this kind of bioorganic quality. It's like a
Yeah,
living, breathing ship, um, and it's very weird. So when the Raiders ship docks with the femur ship, it's kind of like they're piercing this membrane to get into the ship, and I thought that was like, this is weird.
yeah, because when you see the ship, it looks like the side components are like lungs breathing in and out.
Yeah, or the buttons are like boils or something.
Yeah, two things I want to mention too that I forgot. Personally, from an artistic point, I think Themer and the Bone Race are the cooler of the design characters next to the
Yes.
villains, just
Yeah.
because they're, he's a little, well, he's a little fat, tiny alien lizard creature. Maybe I don't really know what they're supposed to be. They got like the lizard scales kind of coming out of their head and the giant ears. So I'm
They're
not really
essentially
sure what they're supposed to be.
they're essentially what you would possibly think of, like of all the races you've seen here. They're what you would think you would encounter in like space, because they're this alien organic you know thing versus all these elemental
Yeah, yeah,
races. Yeah.
yeah. Because when you think of the Bone Planet, you think they'd be like skeletons or something, but they're
Yeah, that
not.
they're not, no.
Which is also kind of weird because the ice, yeah, they're ice, but they're all like an insect race because they all have tiny arms on their back as well. I'm not sure if you noticed that.
Yeah, I
'Cause they all
definitely.
have like the staff on the back that extends, and they got two little hands or arms that are holding it back there.
Yeah, I wouldn't really like make the connection between ice and insects, but
No.
they did on here, so I thought it was pretty cool.
One quote I didn't want to mention before I forget about it because I just noticed in my lines. When Tekla is fighting in her mind against Lamprey, she said, "Probing your mind is like fishing in a sewer."
Yeah.
I
Does that
thought
mean
that was pretty good.
does she got dirty thoughts? Is that what they're getting at?
I have no idea, or maybe her mind's just full of stupid shit. I really
I'm
could go either way.
I'm noticing right now as I'm looking at as I'm watching it, like Lamprey almost looks like a weird demented mermaid because she doesn't exactly have legs in this mental battle. She kind of has almost like a fishtail thing going on.
True. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if she's just energy or what she is,
she's
because
dark matter.
I don't know what led up to her getting into Tekla's mind. Like, did she go for a computer circuit? Like, That's why I kind of wish I should have looked back to see, but at the same time, like I only got so much time right now, so
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of
Despite
curious. I might look back.
despite us being in a quarantine, we still don't have all the time in the world.
No, because even now in quarantine, the days go by so much faster at home than they do working full time.
They really do. It's weird.
It's so fucking crazy.
I
Yeah, I
don't know
think
how
that's all
that.
my points for episode 6.
Yeah, there's not much more to this episode than the mind battle.
Yeah,
So that brings us to the big epicness.
yeah. That brings us to episode 12 and 13. I believe it's called Ragnarok. Was it
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok? Yeah. So this one is pretty much just the last stand. All the planets are together fighting, and they're actually at the Beast Planet location, trying to, take the fight home to them and survive. That's really what these 2 episodes are all about. Do you have some facts that you want to point out on this one?
Okay. First, let me say, this being a two, although this is a two-parter, it's still at the end to be continued, which I think is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was very epic. I thought it was very cool. We got the space battle. All the races have finally come together to take on the beasts. Even though they've come together, Femur is still such a douche and is still
Oh yeah.
like if they're winning, it's because of him and his army. He's the reason why we're winning this battle. If the battle isn't going the way they want, it's everyone else's fault, not him. He is just absolutely terrible. So even though we start in the middle of battle, we do get a flashback to just before the battle when they're preparing. Kryos apparently lost his throne, but now has gotten it back. Mm-hmm. And then Graveheart gives a pretty good speech to, just like rally the troops and get everyone hyped for battle. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, they're winning, but apparently the battle's too easy. And what do you know? It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. I know. Like you were saying, you said, there's like Star Wars references. This one had
There's a
lot
giant
of...
one in this one.
Oh yeah, big time. That's one of them. The trap thing. I think they could have said that. I wish someone had said it's a trap. While all this is going on, Tekla, I don't know what she's looking for. She's on the ice planet in an underground cavern, looking for something.
Yeah, she's underground with almost like a metal detector that's pinging towards something,
and we have no idea what it is. But yeah, the Shadow Raiders, they're winning the battle, and they're drawing closer towards what I thought was the planet. I thought that was the Beast planet that they were attacking.
I thought so too, and then we find out it's not. So I'm not sure if they have multiple planets.
It was very weird because, okay, so it starts out, they're attacking that planet, and it looks like they're wrecking it, and then that whole planet explodes. So surprise, surprise! Here's a super weapon, and then
Death Star.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it's literally a Death Star.
It's literally. It's got the tunnels. It's got the entranceways. It's got the cannons.
Yep.
It's a Death Star.
It's all ready to take out the Rebel Alliance. And then what do you know? The Death Star shows up. It's this crazy doomsday weapon that's got super powerful cannons. Femur is a total douche, like I said, and he bails, of course.
And then he tries to get a hold of Lamprey to make a deal with them to join their side.
Yeah, he gets wrecked, but his ship and his army gets wrecked by the super weapon, and then he's like, "Hey, Lamprey, how about we work together?" Like, what a douche. But yeah, that's episode 12. That ends there. But I guess we're kind of discussing this as like both episodes together, huh?
Which is weird because it's a 2-part episode, but I feel like you've already mentioned. We start the episode already in the battle. Right. So it feels like it's a 3-part episode. Like I feel like episode 11 would be the start of the battle. Hopefully it's 11 and not 10, and then it's a 4-episode battle. But
it's that long, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I kind of feel like it doesn't need to be a 2-part episode, but at the same time, it should be a 3-part episode. Yeah, just thought it was weird being called a two-part episode, yet we're already in the midst of the battle, because by the sounds of it, Themer is too stupid to wait for everyone else to show up, and he just jumps into battle, and then the prince has to jump into battle, and he leaves his actual main ship to take one of the small fighters, and he's literally inside fighting all the other spaceships off.
Yep. Yeah, so when the planet, I'm using quotations, planet, the beast planet explodes to reveal the super weapon, the Death Star, a lot of the Shadow Raiders army gets destroyed in just that explosion. It's pretty huge. And then I think their main ship that Graveheart and Kryos are in is like, I think I remember them saying they're pretty damaged. They're like 25% like shield, and one more direct hit is gonna pretty much destroy them. The beasts, they don't care. They're firing. They're firing on their own ships. They don't care who, as long as they win. Doesn't matter at what cost. Graveheart says, "Stay frosty." I love that line.
Yeah, I got that. The thing with the Beast Planet too, it seems like they can just pop out ships like nothing.
Yeah, like I don't know what their means of production is, but it seems to be rather quick.
Yeah, that's what I noticed as well. It's just like they have an endless army.
Oh, and at this point, Jade hasn't showed up, and she does show up with her own Death Stars. They're literally Death Stars called Battle Moons, and there's multiple of them, and they're Death Stars. They're like smaller Death Stars.
Yeah, because she goes back to the rock planet to, I forget the king's name on the planet, but she tries to go and convince him, or I'm not sure if she just steals all of them. I think there's like 5 of them, if not maybe more, and each one is its own little mini Death Star.
I believe she just steals them, because then Graveheart's like, "How'd you convince the blah blah blah?" And she's like, "We'll talk about that later." And I'm kind of like, okay, well that means that the king didn't want them to take them.
Yeah. So there might be some resistance still with the whole everyone working together there, but
yeah, but at least she showed up. She pretty much saves the day. The super cannons are on the Death Star, the big Death Star, the Beast's weapon, all pretty much get destroyed, and that's when the Beast leaders, Lamprey and the other guy, use Mr. Tall Ghost Man to teleport away.
Yeah, which is really weird, because I don't know who the hell he is.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't talk, and he opens up his jacket or his cloak, and he's got a portal inside his tummy.
Yep. And then the base is destroyed, and then we get this shot that's like Star Wars, where the ships are flying away to get away from the explosion, and then we see the explosion in the background. And to me, that was kind of like when the Death Star gets destroyed, and you see the X-wing and the Millennium Falcon flying away. I have my note, victory ? Because no, turns out I think out of the
sun.
Yeah, out of the sun comes the Beast Planet,
which is weird. Like, are they living inside the sun, or were they hiding inside the sun? Is their planet so strong that it doesn't melt at all?
Is there a portal in the sun?
Going to disappear now? Because we, as you said, we get left on a cliff note hanger to be continued until next season, which really had mind games playing with me, because I'm like, well, is this the last of the season, or is it not?
Yeah, that really bugs me. I was like, are you serious? How are you going to have a 2-part finale and then it still be a cliffhanger? I don't think I've ever seen that.
No, but, good on them.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good cartoon, and I would definitely watch season 2 just to see what happens. And I'm kind of curious how season 2 ends, because that's all it is. I don't know if they just got canceled. I don't know if they actually come to a conclusion. So I'm kind of curious about that.
If I remember right, this show is in fact only 2 seasons, which sucks. But this battle was so epic that it caught my attention. It makes me want to see like what happens next, and where season 2 would go to.
Yeah, because it's kind of weird, because they're the main enemies. We don't see any other enemies at all, because first episode we believe that they're just a story to be told to kids to make them scared at night. Yep. And then the fact that at the end of the season you're already fighting them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what would be an even bigger bad guy other than a planet that just goes around destroying other planets. It's pretty much Galactus.
Yeah, pretty much. One person we didn't really talk about, the Fire Prince. He's a prince, right?
Yeah, Pyrus,
Pyrus, something like that. His voice kind of sounded familiar. Like I've heard his voice in a different cartoon.
Yeah,
But he's a pretty good fighter pilot. He was out there wrecking stuff.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
ballsy. He's definitely he's not scared. His dad is gone somewhere, and I'm not sure we ever find out where. So he's just acting in control.
Yeah, and he's usually under the he's usually being watched by his Vizier, I think is what they called him, or something like that.
Yeah, who's also an asshole because he doesn't want to work with anyone else.
Yeah, he's kind of like this representation of like the old. They're stuck in this thought process of like we can, the races can never get
trust anyone
along.
else. Yeah.
Yeah, you can only trust the fire planet people, and no one else. But obviously, that's archaic way of thinking, and you're never gonna beat the beasts by yourself. Which is the whole purpose of this cartoon is to show. I mean, it's all a statement about race, essentially.
Yeah, for sure, definitely it is. Which is definitely interesting. The story is definitely a lot deeper than it's probably given credit. But yeah, with Pyrus, he's out there in the battlefield. At one point, his ship gets shot and damaged a little bit. I thought maybe he was going down because they lose contact with him.
Yeah.
But he's still able to fly. And then Graveheart gets into one of the ice ships and goes and saves the day, kind of deal.
Yep.
Because at this point, Pyrus is pretty much on the Death Star, getting chased by the beast ships, and then Graveheart comes in behind and shoots them out, and then helps Pyrus get out to safety. And then that's shortly after when Jade shows up, actually, with the battle moons.
Like a badass.
And then actually, I wrote down the beast planet, or maybe it's just a ship, is called Remora, I believe they called it. That's what I wrote down in my notes, because Remora blows up, and when it blows up, all the enemy ships goes with it. So I'm not sure if it's a power source or what it is. All the other ships disappear at the same time as the main one disappears. So I'm not sure if that's a power source to it all or what it is.
They're pulling like an eye
Because
robot.
they even actually mentioned that, and I think Graveheart mentioned something about where'd all the other ships go.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the main one blows up, everything else is gone.
Yeah.
That's when they think they win, and then we see the Beast Planet, and they actually say the Beast Planet coming out of the sun, which I guess the Beast Planet has its own way of transportation and can just move throughout the solar system. Planets rotate, but this one full on moves like a ship.
And that's the end of season 1.
Yeah, I found it really entertaining, and I found it writ by pretty fast.
So I got some notes about that I'm finding out the background of this. Once again, thank you, Brian. This is a Canadian animated television series.
You're welcome.
So it is made by the original characters designed by the Reboot creator, Brendan McCarthy. It's kind of funny. This television series is produced by Mainframe Entertainment. Mainframe, for Reboot.
Yep.
And this aired from 1998 to 1999. And I guess was actually loosely based off of a toy line called, what you said earlier, War Planets.
Which I think I might still have a couple Graveheart toys. Not a lot.
Nice.
I think I do.
I feel like these would I feel like a Graveheart toy would be like a bulky kind of toy.
He's not super bulky. You can actually take off his chest armor and his helmet, which I'm assuming are long gone by now. But I might have to dig out those toys during quarantine and take some pictures for the podcast.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. Oh, here you go. So 4 main planets. Obviously, we got the fire, rock, bone, and ice. And they're all fighting over natural resources. And the natural resources are fire produces energy, Rock produces metals and minerals. Bone produces food. Weird. I guess that makes sense. And ice produces water.
I guess bones producing food because they're killing everything. Unless there's
That
lots
just
of seeds, and that's where bone meal comes from. Minecraft, just bone meal.
we're Minecrafting it. That works. Um, other than being on TV, they did have a DVD release back in like 2000. And I don't know anyone who voiced this.
I will say it's really highly rated, which is nice.
Yeah.
For a Canadian show.
Oh yeah.
8 out of 10 on IMDb, and 95% of Google users approve it.
Oh wow. I guess the toy line had more races. Along with the rock, ice, fire, and bone, there was also sand and water. I guess was a different race.
Okay.
Reptizar, which I'm guessing is reptiles. Remora, which I think you listed, or you said that's like their planet.
That's a Beast Planet battleship or something that we started off on episode 12.
Okay.
Yeah, because we thought it was a planet, remember? It's got the lava around it, or the rocks or whatever, and then the rocks blow up.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's another part of the Beast Planet, maybe? I don't really know, actually.
Maybe. Because in the toy line, those are two different things. They have Remora and then also listed the Beast Planet. But that's toys. Obviously, these toys are different from the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add. Other than I would definitely highly recommend it. It's a late 90s cartoon, but I think it really holds up. And your first time watching, so it seems like you're a fan of it.
Oh, yeah. This is pretty good. If this was on TV today, I would definitely check it out. As a kid, I just know me as a kid. I really liked action figures, and the way I played with stuff was like, there's always action, fighting, explosions, space battles, and this show pretty much had everything that me at a young age would want to watch on a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely heavily inspired by Star Wars.
Yep.
But quality-wise, it's definitely super well done. I think it's up there with being probably one of the better CGI cartoons of the late 90s for sure, maybe if not early 2000s.
Yep, I just got your picture you sent me of the Graveheart toy. It looks sort of like what I imagined it would be.
Yeah, it's well crafted too, so.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I am so happy that we are back to talking about stuff that we like, because honestly, it really sucks watching crap that we didn't want to watch.
Yeah, whose stupid idea was that? I don't know.
I don't know. It was probably me.
Whose idea was?
Terrible.
No, it's definitely me, but we'll just, we'll hide that. I started off playing to the Anaconda. Yeah, give me my smart idea. And you had to bring a full swing with that little panda fighter crap.
Yeah, we both had to send each other to hell, so.
I'm more depressed that has 2 movies and this only has 2 seasons.
I know. Maybe let's start a petition. Bring back Shadow Raiders. Give us a season 3.
That, or even at this point in time, give me a movie. But keep the characters looking dark. I don't want anything like friendly, stupid looking. I want to see real fire. I want to see pointy ice, insect things. Don't really ugly green Jabba the Hutt looking pervert monster.
Don't pull a Teen Titans.
Because now I'm thinking about his face. I didn't mind that cartoon. It's not the best thing. It's better than Thundercats Roar. I saw that on TV today.
Yeah.
So Chantel, I'm like, that's a new Thundercats. She's like, you're lying, right? I'm like, no, it's a new Thundercats.
Yep.
That's just the animation styles. Everything changes every couple of years.
Yep.
I fully believe that this animation style nowadays is brought into by how popular things like Regular Show and Adventure Time got, and then you got like Bravest Warrior, and then you got Grandpa that sucked. There's tons of cartoons that all have the same simple features, big bulky eyes. I can't say anything about it. Some of my artwork's been looking like that, so just the way the times are. Yeah,
Yeah.
art style gets popular, and then everything else just spawns from it. The only thing I'm worried about with animation style is everything gets a little bit more simplistic looking. So I'm terrified that everything's gonna look like stick figures at one point.
Just
Because
watch
sure,
anime.
there's a lot of expression and detail, but yeah, that's why I like anime. It's so much more detailed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you find the horror anime, it's even better because it's blood, guts, ripping apart. So some of
Yeah.
the anime gets really weird. Yeah.
Have you ever seen, this is off topic, but, or I guess on topic of what we're talking about. Have you ever seen the anime Corpse Party?
No.
Oh, that's pretty messed up. It's very much a horror movie, and they're not afraid to go there as far as gore.
I have to look that up now.
Yeah, you'll find, if you look it up, you'll find that there are games based off of it, but there is a Corpse Party anime, and it is pretty brutal, in my opinion.
I'll look forward to checking that out at some point then.
Yeah, it's a little more jarring than like regular horror because you see anime characters and they're all like, oh, they're cutesy, like, you know, they're anime characters, they're aesthetically pleasing, and then all of a sudden these things are happening to them, and you're like, oh god, no. It's like Happy Tree Friends.
I love that show. We are reviewing that at some point. I'm just going to put that out there now.
That's
I
brutal,
find
too.
it hilarious to be Looney Tune looking characters,
Yep.
and then there's just blood and guts and brains. I had it
Everything.
on one day, and Chantel walked in, and she's like, "What the hell are you watching? Happy Tree Friends?"
Yeah.
She just, slowly walked away like I was crazy.
Yeah.
No,
It
might be
was very brutal.
crazy, but I think it's a really well done, cartoon. That definitely makes you wonder what goes through people's minds to create.
Yeah, to be animating that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's simplistic, but at the same time, when it comes to the blood and guts, it's not. Because they'll cut a face off and you'll see the brain and everything moving inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
good details that they got going on.
That's for a different podcast. So maybe for Halloween.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be good. It'll be here
Yeah,
before
I
we
got
know
a
it.
few suggestions for Halloween anyways. Yeah, if we're all alive and probably still in quarantine.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that is
Podcasting from the
episode.
bunker.
hopefully not
What?
infected.
Is it 9?
Yeah, we're episode 9.
We'll be infected. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I can't believe we made it to episode 9.
I don't know. It was a long journey. March started off pretty bad. Maybe we caused this infection virus because we decided to do Angela Anaconda. If
What's this
that
we
is the
stuff?
case, we are a podcast together. I signed up for rights to Rob. This is his podcast, and I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, okay. I'll take it.
Sorry, did I just throw you under the bus live on air? Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's fine. I'll take it.
But if this is the cure for everyone's mental sanity, I'd like to take full credit with coming up with the ideas and being here every week. And you're welcome.
Anything you want to plug?
Just go to on Instagram. You'll see a bunch of artwork. There's also a link in my bio. You can click on that, which will give you all the other links to everything else. I probably will be closing down my Design by Human store and just focusing back on Redbubble because they want to be assholes. Just gonna put that out there because we're not gonna get sponsorship from them. So, because for whatever reason, all my artwork, parody artwork, keeps getting taken down from them. It is what it is. And then you and me have decided to try and be hipsters, and we joined TikTok.
Yeah, we're kind of doing an experiment. I mean, you got to move with the times, and this is a huge thing now. It's taken over. Yeah, it's taken over from Vine. Vine was a big thing. I'm kind of surprised that went away. But you know why TikTok is so good or so popular?
Short attention spans.
Exactly. That is exactly what it is. You cannot have long videos, and they are. It's just it's addictive with phones scrolling, and then you're just scrolling through videos, and they're quick videos.
The thing is with TikTok, I don't know, maybe this is why they can get away with it because they have all the copyright music on it, but there's only like a minute of it playing. So I don't know if there's a law where you can only play a minute of the music. I just don't understand how. I guess maybe because you're not making money off of it. Some people probably definitely are.
Oh yeah,
I
probably.
just don't understand how you can add music to everything and not get issues. Where if we were to put music in the intro or something like that, or music on one of our YouTube videos, we'd get banned right at the bat, or serious crap over it. But yet you can add whatever you want on TikTok. It's I don't know
Yeah,
the
I don't know.
standards there.
I don't know. I think it's because just YouTube is a huge thing, and then they're also owned by Google, and so I don't know. They just had this big adpocalypse bandwagon thing going on, and then I don't know. I guess it's just not the same yet with TikTok.
Yeah, probably once it gets big enough and something buys it out. I don't know if TikTok has something to do with Facebook, because on TikTok, the main thing you can, go to share is Facebook and Instagram, which Instagram is owned by Facebook now.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if TikTok is like a little side thing from it all or not. So
Yeah, we'll see.
I think it might be, but
yeah, find us on TikTok.
yeah, you'll just see artwork for me and some stuff with Abby, and I did just put up a Mario Kart stream from my phone using Omelette Arcade, and then I thought I'd be crafty and add the Tokyo Drift soundtrack in the background, because why not?
That was pretty good.
Um,
And then
so yeah,
I'm just attempting comedy. I'm attempting.
yeah, I want to attempt that too. It's just I don't know. I got no ideas right now.
Yeah.
My only gripe with TikTok is when you type in a song, the number one hit is always a rap version.
Yeah.
Always a rap version.
Always. Yeah. Because that's.
Because I typed in Mario Kart soundtrack for it, and I got a rap song. Apparently, Mario Kart rap song. Did not know. Didn't bother to listen to it. Just wanted to see if it was a original Mario Kart theme, and it was not by any chance.
Nope.
But yeah, just go on Instagram, get that link tree, link that goes to everything else, and I'm Typhonstein on TikTok. I'm assuming you're Virtual Rob.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, follow us on that. Help us get famous so we can stay home and do more podcasts and write movies and cartoons and all that fun stuff. Because I'm assuming at any stage, this is probably our biggest time to hit it big, because everyone's supposed to be staying inside.
Yeah, everyone's watching stuff, listening to podcasts, playing games, all that good stuff.
So this should be our time to hit it big. If not, oh well.
Yep, let's focus. We can do it.
We got the power.
Well, if that's all, I think that wraps up episode 9, guys.
Yeah, that's everything from me.
Yeah, I will end it there, and we will see you guys next time when we decide. We usually decide quickly what our next episode is going to be about. But until next week, thank you for listening.
Thank you, guys and gals and aliens.
And rock people and ice people.
And bone people and sand people. Oompa Loompas and Smurfs and Woopa Loompas and Wing Dongs and Harry Potter fans. And I'm going to shut up now.
All right. Till next time. Later.
Peace.